morning, everyone. I'm just waking up in my iCamper rooftop tent. I'm going to be headed out on White Rim Trail here in Moab. I'm really excited to get out there and get doing it. Got to make some breakfast and some coffee for certain. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a really good day for riding. Getting out of the tent in the morning is always the hardest part, man. Whoo-wee. Okay, let's get some breakfast made.
So I have been wanting to ride White Rim Trail for a really long time now, and I've watched several videos on it trying to gauge the difficulty level of the trail. And what I found is that the opinions are so varying from video to video that I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go out and ride it. And when I'm done, I'm going to make a video that I hope will explain in really good detail what you're going to be looking at when you're on the trail, so that whether you're an experienced rider or someone who's new to riding, you'll have a good feel for whether or not this is a trail that you want to tackle.
I love bivouac coffees. What's up, guys? Hey, it's Jason with Upshifting Adventures. I just got finished doing White Rim Trail in Moab, and man, what a ride. It is unbelievable. It's phenomenal. I can't believe I haven't done it yet. Man, what a privilege to come out here and be able to do this. It was so fantastic. I've been wanting to do White Rim for a while. But, you know, I've been watching lots of videos on it. Like, what's it like? How long does it take? What's the difficulty? And you know what I found was there's about 1,000,001 different opinions on it. So if you're like me, you've watched lots of stuff on White Rim and in the end, didn't have a clue what to expect afterwards. So, you know, I've been wanting to bring my boys out here and ride it, and I can't really get any definitive information on what it's like. So I decided to just come out here and do it myself. I did it in one day. It took me about 5 hours. I am smoked. It was a smoker. Definitely will take it out of you if you do it in one day. 2 days would have been perfect. Do about half each day, but I didn't have that opportunity, and so I did it in one. So what I hope to do with this video is I want to give a really good synopsis of what White Rim is like from an average rider's point of view. And I consider myself to be an average off-road rider. Now I will say one thing about my riding is, while I may be an average rider, I am a bit above average when it comes to putting myself in harm's way, okay? So if you're an average rider, you can kind of gauge it off of that, whether you're willing to take risk or you're an average rider who's, you know, errs on more on the side of caution. So I am, as I say, an average rider that's willing to take risks. So I guess that kind of maybe puts me in the slightly above average category. And the reason I say all this is because I want people, you know, myself, I always watch these videos and I want to know, how hard is this? But I don't get a good warm fuzzy about what I just watched and whether it's for me or it's not, right? So what I'm going to do is try to put all of it in perspective from an average to slightly above average off-road rider's view, and I hope that in the end that will give you a good idea as to whether this is a trail for you, whether you want to try it. And if you have ridden this trail, please chime in on the comments. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you think I hit the mark or I missed the mark or whatever. And before we get more into the video, a little bit of business. If you like this video, please do me a favor, smash that like button, give me a big thumbs up, and consider subscribing to the channel if you will. I really appreciate all of the new subscribers. But if you hit that like button now, the new YouTube algorithm, they like to see the like button smashed at the beginning of the video to get me put more into the mix. Okay. All right. So White Rim is about 100 miles long, right? And it's really, it takes its toll on you because from the start it's rocky and bumpy and you never really catch a break. Man, it is windy as heck out here. I hope that this comes up on the video okay. There are a few different places where you can pick up the White Rim Trail. You can either start it from Mineral Bottom Road, which is off of the 313 out of Moab, or you can go into Canyonlands on the north side and take the Shafer switchbacks down to where it connects with Potash Road and then take White Rim there. Or you can come from the Moab side, take Potash Road to the left turn that goes on to White Rim. So those are the three different places you can pick up the route. When you come into Canyonlands, you do need to get a permit. It's going to cost you $22, I think, $25 for the motorcycle. And you have to get a day use permit for White Rim. You can get that online or you can get it at the visitor center. If you get it online, it costs $6. If you get it on the visitor center, it's free. They give out 50 of them per day because they try to limit the amount of traffic that's on White Rim Road. 25 of them are dedicated to the internet sales, and then whatever aren't sold, you can get them up to 24 hours, you know, the day 8 a.m. the day before you plan to hit the trail. So whatever aren't sold on the internet are rolled back into the visitor center allotment. So I didn't run across 50 people today, that's for sure. So I don't think it's a big issue, but just know that you are supposed to get a permit if you're going to go onto White Rim, and if you're in Canyonlands, there is a fee to get into Canyonlands. Okay, so I started from my campsite here at Cowboy Campsite, which is just north of the Island in the Sky entrance to Canyonlands, about 3, 4, 5 miles. Once you get into Canyonlands, there's an immediate left turn that goes to Shafer Switchbacks and Shafer Trail. The switchbacks are awe-inspiring. They're amazing. They're not difficult by any means. There are a couple of tight switchbacks with some loose dirt, so you do have to be a little mindful of it, but they're not difficult. So from the time you start Shafer Trail, it's about 4 miles till you hit the White Rim start. From that point, it's amazing. Okay, you basically follow the Colorado River's path as it goes south down into Arizona.
So I just left.
The road is mostly dirt and rock. There is just a ton of small rock, and you're going to get just beat up pretty good along the route. But there's nothing technical. The entire route actually is not very technical at all. There are some sand sections that I would consider, I don't know, easy to just at the bottom of moderate sand sections. There are some climbs, so some hill climbs with some switchbacks. The biggest one that I can think of is Murphy's Hogback. I'm not really sure how you say it. I rode the loop today in a clockwise position. So, again, starting from Shafer Trail, ending at Mineral Bottom. So Murphy's Hogback, coming from that direction, the climb up it is definitely, you got to keep your RPMs up. It is incredibly steep. It doesn't look steep from the ground, but it is steep. There are a couple of sections where there's some switchback. You got to have your RPMs up. You got to have the power to get up there. So if you're not comfortable with revving your motor and really ringing it out, going up a steep hill with a lot of exposure, that could cause a little bit of concern for you. I went up it, and then I turned around and went down it to see which one is more difficult, if I wanted to come counterclockwise next time. Going down was easy. I just held the front brake and kept the back brake kind of locked up. and it was fine. I just never let the speed carry me too much, so that I always had enough, in reserve to slow down if I needed to. Going up was incredibly fun. I liked it a lot. So from the direction I went, the clockwise direction, when you go up Hogback, and then it's about half a mile, and then you start going back down. Some tight switchbacks, but very easy to go down. Very, very scenic. I really enjoyed it a lot. Let's see what else. Once you get into the second half of White Rim, so after the 50 mile mark, you get everything. You get lots of rock, choppy rock. You get sand. You get fast, flowy 2-track. You get some good climbs and some good descents. And then, so at about the 65 mile mark, you reach what's called hard Scrabble switchbacks, which go up and then back down into to hard Scrabble campground. And that is absolutely amazing. Again, some tight switchbacks with some loose sand, almost kind of moon dusty stuff, but traction was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was really nice. At that portion, it is one way only. If you come into, if there were two vehicles that came, head to head, I don't know what they would do. One of them would have to back up quite a ways to a turnout because there is no room to pass. I came by a couple of vehicles and had very little room to go around them, even on my motorcycle. But anyways, after you get past that portion, you kind of go down into the river valley along the Colorado River, and there is some good sand there. But there's also some beautiful fast riding. There's some switchbacks and some flowy turns that are really great. And then you get into once you get past Mineral Bottom, then you get towards Mineral Bottom Road and Mineral Bottom Canyon, and that is also really scenic. And then there's the Mineral Bottom switchback. Okay, so my take on White Rim Trail and who should do it. The thing about White Rim is most of it is, I would call, easy. That's a guy who's got average off-road riding skills. I would say it is an easy trail. There are some sections that border on being right in the middle of intermediate. There are no expert sections at all on White Rim Trail. But there are some that border on the medium range of intermediate. So if you're not comfortable with that, probably not the trail for you. Now, if you are an intrepid motorcyclist, right, and you may be new, but you've got balls, then I think this would be fine for you. I know that, and I've seen other riders who are new at riding, the more cautious kind of people, they look at everything with, a little bit more, cynically, I guess. They go slow, they feel it out. And then some who are new just don't have the experience, don't know the danger they're in. They just go balls to the wall. If you're one of those guys, the second group, I think you'll do fine here. The only thing I could think of that might give a less than intermediate, but not a first timer, any trouble would be Murphy's Hogback, because you do have to, you got to get on the throttle and go. When I was going up it, and my 701 is pretty souped up, I thought about shifting into second gear a couple of times, but I didn't want to risk it. So I stayed in first gear up the whole thing. It's not long. It's maybe, I don't know, a little over a quarter mile, but it is steep and it requires commitment. You got to get on the gas and go. Other than that, I don't see anything on White Rim that would really hamper a relatively new rider who has a little bit of time off road and who is willing to take a chance and get on the gas. Other than that, I will say that at the end of those 5 hours, I was destroyed. I was so tired. I stood for almost 100 miles because you can't really sit. There's not a flat, well, there's very little flat spots on White Rim. Most of it is jagged, rocky, up and down. If you're sitting, you're going to take a beating in your kidneys. So I stood for almost all of that 100 miles. Excuse me. My forearms were sore. My hands, my fingers were sore from holding on. It was challenging physically, for sure, because of the type of trail. Lots and lots of slick rock type of rock out there, intermixed with lava rock, regular rocks, sand, dirt, you name it. So you're constantly adjusting, you're constantly going up and down, and that part was physically demanding. But other than that, I think it's totally worth, if you're not sure if you're good enough, I'd say go try it, man. If you get to a spot where you just can't go any further, you can turn around and go back. But the things you will see in the 100 miles of White Rim Trail, I don't think you can see them anywhere else in a 100-mile distance. That's why I say it's so worth it. I absolutely loved it. I wish I hadn't waited so many years to do it. I will do it again for certain. I may even do it in one day, but I'll prepare a little bit better. And it's March 10th right now. It's cold and it's windy. I think if it were warm, it'd be a lot better, and I would, just kind of take my time going through it and spend the entire day out there. And I probably wouldn't be as physically exhausted as I am now. Otherwise, fantastic trail. I highly recommend it to anyone who has the fortitude to come out here with a motorcycle and do it. I don't think that it's not the most trafficked. I came across one other guy on a motorcycle today. So it gets my seal of approval for sure. That's about it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please, like I said, give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And, I hope to see you guys out on the road one day.
Peace. I'm out.